Hello, this is part 9 of how to use SkyScape. In this part, I will give some tips on how to use the thing, like things that can be avoided, some things about upcoming features it will have, for example, the topic of multiplayer, among other things. Okay, yes, 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 close, close, close. And that, especially some notes that are around that maybe not seen at first, you don't know what they are for. For example, we are going to put here SkyScape, change weather and get time. This here basically gives it a new style, and it will change the style and tell you how long it will take to make the style change. For example, I put in the style and this time is at 10. Well, here it will return the variable a little more. It's just a little more. For example, if it's 10, maybe it's 10. One, to avoid an issue where it might not work exactly, but this variable is good because here, for example, I can add a delay. I copy it again and can put this test. Then we hit play. It's going to apply. We're going to press 3 for that to apply. First, a scene without anything is applied. A weather without snow, a weather without sun. And after 10 seconds, this weather that we created before, which had fog, starts to set in. And if I press 3 again, it will do the same thing. This is quite good if we want to create a cycle by activating a trigger, a weather cycle is generated, and since it's timed, it gives us greater control over how we do it. What else? Other nodes we have SkyScape, get current parameters. These are a lot of parameters. First, here it returns if it is valid because internally it checks if it exists. And these are a bunch of parameters. For example, this here is, let's move it a little bit up. These here are all these parameters here, everything we have here. This up here is basically what we have in this one, in this variable, edit current style. And the interesting thing is the last one, which is the addition to the variable, which here basically gives us the current temperature and whether it's day or night. Then we also have this, but well, this doesn't matter. This is for a topic. This is basically the time. So if we put the print string here, this returns the time. Let's leave it there so it can be seen. Wait, let's remove the rain because I don't want it to rain. It bothers me. Let's leave everything by default. Well, made a small cut and connected it to the event tick to see. Here you can see that, which is for the time. Now we are going to make the sun go much faster. And as you can see here, it keeps returning the time we have, which will again are things that will be useful later. For different things, something very important is that this here in Skype, Skype content independencies, we cannot take this out of this folder. It must always be here and we must not change its name. It has to be named like that and has to be in this folder, otherwise it might crash, so do not move these things. Another thing is the widget here that gives us the time, all of that. Good. Here is the code of how I do it. You see, I use the SkyScape, get current parameters, I convert them into variables, and then I connect those variables to different things. For example, the time, so it always displays correctly, among other things. Another node that is also interesting is the let's remove debug function. the key 3, and here we are going to put SkyScape set parameters, which means here we can define a new style or set a new configuration for the sun, which is very interesting. Here we can define any of these parameters, and that's very good. Then what else do we have? SkyScape weather, get time current parameters, the duration of 1 hour. This one is good. Duration of 1 hour on server. This I have not tested enough yet. I would not recommend using it because I'm testing it is a parameter, and also set type to change weather, which means this time here can be changed with this variable here, which is the time it takes to interpolate between one weather and another. For example, if I set it to 1 second, we press 3, and well, now basically 1 second, because there's get reference and it changes that parameter time to change weather. Let's hit play here, we select it, and here when it is at 10 I set it to 1, okay? When it ends, because if not, we press 3 and here it changed to 1. This does not stop the weather thing. Something important is that there is one called apply. Sorry, apply no start again. SkyScape, this does what? Well, when it applies to any variable, like changing the weather from blueprints. No, obviously always talking about blueprints or all that. This is activated here, which is the stop SkyScape. For example, if I were to give it, if this doesn't connect, I'm not going to use it anyway. Now I'm going to show it from here. Because they are the same functions, if I use stop SkyScape here, it stops everything related to interpolation, and for example, now nothing will happen. Up here, I can now tell it to set the clouds high. I click apply style, and they are going to start turning into high clouds, as I just mentioned. If I say high fog, and I hit apply style now, what is it going to do? It's going to put a lot of fog. There it is. There you can see the fog in the distance. Yes, well, again I do the same with the rain. I activate the rain and I give it to play style. It will start to generate rain. Well, in this case snow, because I'm in winter at minus 19 degrees. So, well, that's it. But now let's imagine that we want it to work again. We just hit start to game, and now it will cycle again over time. Now I completely activate the fog. I completely activate the clouds. There, the clouds go. Ideally, the clouds should take a little more time to look good. Here, since it was done in 10 seconds, they disappeared quite abruptly. If they disappear slowly, for example, we set the transition to last 50 seconds. There you can see much better how the clouds are moving away. But with this conclude the final part of the basic SkyScape Key, possibly the videos in general that I have. I will delete and add and things like that due to the topic, or redo them because of how they look, or problems when explaining something. But in general, they are well explained. I mean, it works, it fulfills its purpose. I mean, a person who has never used it can learn to use it with these videos. But well, that if you find any bugs, you can report them to me and I will patch them. I think that's all. See you